Hello, welcome to our Q&A video, second Q&A video, this time on the Champlain Valley Trail portion of the Empire State Trail. So this is north to south from Rouses Point, New York to Albany. It is about 190 miles. And we did ride it north to south. And so this is the second bit of our journey on the Empire State Trail in New York. So hopefully, again, as we did with the Erie Canalway Trail, we are answering some questions that you might have about this portion of the trail, and particularly if you are considering riding the trail yourself, maybe this will be of help. Who's got the first question? So first question is going to, again, be the describe this portion, this trail route, and the trail surface.
Trail surface is road shoulder, paved road shoulder from Rouses Point to Albany. There are some sections of paved trails.
There's some delightful gravel.
Yeah, some gravel roads in there, all relatively short, but predominantly paved road shoulder.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's the on-road
it's
portion
an
of the
on-road
Empire
trail.
State Trail. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a road trail. Which is potentially fine. We'll get to our experiences on it. What would you say there is a better direction to ride this portion of the Empire State Trail?
Overwhelmed. I'm not so sure that there is a better direction in terms of like elevation gain or loss. It seemed kind of even across the trail. I would say there's a slight chance of a tailwind that comes out of the north. So you might have a tailwind if you start in the north and ride south.
I shouldn't laugh at that. That may be the case. I didn't feel it, and maybe people that know that area better than us will confirm that. I really don't know.
I think we definitely had that. We also had some quartering winds,
well, yes.
as I looked at the wind app. But it wasn't oppressive.
No.
It was very good riding.
Yeah, and
for that.
We rode it from the north to the south. I know a lot of people would potentially ride it the other direction, and having not done that, we can't say for sure that that's as easy or not.
And we saw one person riding the other direction,
yes.
while most of the groups that we encountered were riding north to south.
Towards the south.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And is there a better time of year to travel?
We were there in late September, and again, it was by far the best time of year, I think, maybe to ride that. I mean, it was gorgeous. There's a reason people want to ride those trails in late fall. So be aware, it's a really popular peak time to ride. But no, it's a beautiful time to ride the trail. I think you can ride that portion anytime, probably May to October, as you're getting to the first part of May and the latter part of October. You're going to be shoulder season, particularly in that northern area. So be aware that you may run into more precipitation, and also as you ride later into October, shorter days. So in general, I would say your typical peak time is going to be that mid-May to late September, which is true for most trails. I did want to say, as with the Erie Canalway, but I think even more on this portion, because it's such a road route, if you're planning to ride in the middle of summer, it can be very hot. And because it's on road, you're very exposed, and you have a chance that heat's going to really radiate up from the asphalt. So I know there were portions that I rode that I was thinking, wow, this is nice because it started out like 40 degrees or 50 degrees this morning, and I'm comfortable today. But if that was like a 90-degree day, I would want to be prepared for some heat. So yeah, just be aware of that. But any time in your standard trail season would be fine. And again, because it's on road, if you wanted to ride it in the off season in the winter, if you're really hardy and wanted to, there's nothing stopping you from doing it, but I probably wouldn't recommend it.
Any rider that you would, what is the skill level, the experience level of the rider that your Empire State Trail would be for?
Okay, yeah, good question. So this portion, again, we're just going to do Rouses Point to Albany on this one, is for your experienced bike tourist and biker, I would say. Both because it's on road, which is a factor, so you absolutely have to be comfortable riding in traffic. Portions of that on road are there's no shoulder, probably not safe. I don't think I'd recommend it. Which I guess, I mean, we could just address it now. Like, so it would be the Whitehall to Ticonderoga that you rode. No, Westport.
Westport to Ticonderoga.
Westport to Ticonderoga. Would you ever ride that again?
I mean, if I had to, yeah, I would ride it again.
What's have to, though? I mean, you'd try to avoid it.
I would try to avoid it, just because the road is, there is no shoulder on a portion of it. So you're white lining it. Speeds are 45 miles an hour or greater. Yeah. Lots of truck traffic.
Yeah, commercial traffic on it.
Yeah, it just was not a fun morning on that. And maybe that's different on a Sunday morning. Yeah. Maybe, so it was a weekday when I rode it, so everybody's working, everybody's getting their jobs done. So
this was the only portion that I questioned the route makers on, and I'm sure that they would have preferred to put us anywhere else. And there are other portions where I love where they routed us. So at Westport to Ticonderoga is the only part I would say I don't know that I would recommend anyone take it. The rest being fine if you're used to riding on road. And before I talked about elevation, did you?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention there's a small portion, maybe 3 miles in length, and when you approach it, there's a sign that says bicyclist may activate signal upon entering this section. So it'll warn drivers behind you that there is a bicyclist ahead. I certainly didn't do that because I just flew right past it. I wish I had done that, but... So
they're obviously trying. They're trying their best, and I appreciate that. But if you can avoid that section, that's the only part I wouldn't even recommend riding. But the other aspect to who I would recommend this for would be the elevation, and you'll see if you look at the profile on this, certainly much different than if you look at the Erie Canalway profile. So if you're doing all of the Empire State Trail, this might be I think it's probably the hilliest section of the three. I really liked the elevation. I didn't think it was taxing. We rode anywhere from 30 to 50. We did some 70-mile days, but I would say it was more in the 30 to 50 mile a day range. And because we were in our camper van, we didn't have to carry luggage on us. That's going to make a difference too. But even if I were fully loaded with bike packing bags, I would just cut that down to 30 miles a day period. So knowing that I would be conservative on my mileage anyway, I thought the elevation was fine and actually quite enjoyable and made for like a nice bit of challenge, and I really liked it. So I think experienced bike tourists, I would say would be good for this trail. Yes. How would you describe the services and amenities along this portion of the Empire State Trail?
I'd say that the services are pretty frequent. There seemed to be a convenience store or a gas station of some sort, maybe every 10, 15 miles. Like, I think you wouldn't starve on this, and you certainly could get water, that kind of stuff. Lodging seemed to be a little more Spartan. Is that true? As you rode along, like just not as many options on there.
I think not as many as like the Erie Canalway.
Yes, exactly.
As in comparison to the Erie Canalway, there are places to stay. Maybe not as many, not as varied. And if you are going there, the upper end, Plattsburgh is the last like bigger city town where there's lodging, and there's good lodging there. If you're planning to go to Rouses Point, you're probably doing that as like an out and back. I'm sure there's probably places to stay in Rouses Point, but you're probably anchoring yourself in Plattsburgh and going up and back. Beyond that though, so I think there was lodging, maybe a little bit more limited. You felt like there was more camping on this portion?
I did, certainly along the Lake Champlain section where you're right on the lake. It seemed like there were 2 or 3 campgrounds, all very close to. That's
like
also
each day.
part of, that's also part of the Adirondack Park in there.
Yeah.
So it did seem like there were some more camping options.
Yeah, and or if you're in an RV or something like that, it may be that there's a little bit more option there than like on the Erie Canalway where you kind of have to go a little bit farther off. But I was actually surprised, even as much as I expected that upper end near Plattsburgh and beyond to have less services. I mean, there are places like we've been in, the central part of the Katy Trail where there's literally nothing, and this is not that. You're always going to have something.
Yeah, and I'd say, that's just like convenience stores, bathrooms are, you might be able to go to a local convenience store, whatnot, or,
Questions for me?
Yeah, so what were the options for transportation getting to and from the trail?
Yes. Yes, so trip planning stuff again. This time I am currently fully unaware of anyone shuttling recreational bikers along this north-south portion of the Empire State Trail. So to my understanding, you have the choices of driving yourself or having people drop you off. The train, again, is an option, and it actually does stop at several of these towns that are along this route. So if you are taking your bike and you're coming from Albany or New York City or that area, you can take a train and go to just a portion of it up to Ticonderoga or Westport, or all the way to Plattsburgh just by train. So that was nice. Or probably rental car. I'm sure there's fewer choices out of Plattsburgh, but I'm betting that you could do a rental car.
U-Haul, certainly.
To something like that. But again, no commercial shuttling ventures that I'm currently aware of for recreational cyclists on there. So that would be that. Oh, and no luggage shuttlers. Nope. You are bringing your own stuff or having someone carry it for you. So, yeah.
There you go.
All right. Then I guess last question each time is going to be, what was your overall experience on this portion of the Empire State Trail, Rouses Point to Albany?
Knock your socks off. Beautiful. I mean, the weather we had was perfect, early autumn. But yeah, just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Great scenery. Wonderful history with the various Revolutionary and 1812 forts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What did you think?
I was more concerned about this portion than either of the other two. And I think certainly this, what am I thinking? Whitehall? Well, Ticonderoga, really. Ticonderoga to Schuylerville, I think probably my favorite portion of the Empire State Trail overall, potentially.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that gravel, those gravel and secondary road sections are just bliss. They were really nice. I mean, it was a beautiful time to be there. The gravel was great.
Yeah.
And you're along the canal, firm, and you're along rural roads. And if you like that kind of riding, it was just, that for us, that was like 2 straight days of like perfect. I loved it. The northern section was fine, but that Whitehall to Schuylerville was like just a joy. I really liked it. So I went in a little bit concerned about elevation and everything like that, for knowing this was all road. And that's not generally a thing I like. But came away thinking that I really enjoy this portion of the Empire State Trail. Only that I didn't have to ride the portion from Westport to Ticonderoga. Everything else really liked and would ride it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without having to stop and video.
Smaller tires.
Yeah, but no, but even that was fine. Did we ask about tires on
We did
this?
not ask about bikes or tires.
It's on road, so what you would ride touring on road, you can ride on this. It's fine. Yeah, is what I would do overall. All right, I think we got everything. So as always with our videos, if you're enjoying the what we're riding, the kind of bike trails we ride and the videos that we make, if you could please subscribe so that we know that we should do more, that would be helpful. And if you're interested in trip planning services, you can go to our website at nobleinventionbiketouring.com or nibiketouring.com. And thank you for watching our Q&A video. And if you, for some reason, got to this point and haven't yet seen our actual ride on the Empire State Trail, go check out those videos as well. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
See ya.